and this is my YouTube channel, Sweetheart Knits, and this is everything that I knit in 2023. So this was a really weird knitting year for me. I was super inspired in like winter and spring, and I basically didn't knit at all this summer. I worked on very little, mostly because I was working a lot and I just didn't feel like I had the time, and I was really enjoying doing a lot of other activities. I was enjoying a lot of video games and some of my other hobbies more. I read a lot this summer and I didn't want to do both, so I kind of took a break this summer, and then I came back this fall and really got back into it again. Felt really inspired. I felt super inspired over break, and got a lot made, so I'm super excited to show you everything. A lot of this stuff will have been in previous podcast episodes. I'm going to go into like a little bit of detail here because I always get a lot of new viewers on these. So like I'm going to give background, but I'm not going to like go super in depth on the creation of everything. If you want to know more about a specific project, I would advise you to go back and watch my other previous podcast episodes. But yeah, this should be fun. I have a lot of finished things that you guys haven't seen. Winter break has treated me well and I've gotten a lot of knitting done. I'm going to categorize this from the date that I started things. So like, I'm going to start with the first thing that I cast on this year and then work my way down. That doesn't mean that I finished them in that order. I mostly did finish them in other orders, but I felt like that was the easiest way to go about it. So that's what we're going to do. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is my mostly finished Prominade Blouse by Kadri. It is so the way that this blouse is, the sweater is made is it's like a stripe of just mohair and then a stripe of merino. So it's this really cool like texture thing. I made this in Drops Air and Quince & Co. Chloe, which is just 100% merino. And yeah, this has been on my needles forever. I literally just finished it this last week. I cast this on January 1st and I finished it this week. So it took me forever. It was just a really slow moving one for me. And I actually am not yet done because I put this on, and to my utter devastation, these sleeves are a little bit too short. So I'm gonna have to tink back on my bind off again. This is the second time I've had to redo these sleeves. I'm gonna tink back on my bind off again and get them redone so I can actually wear it, because the sleeves are just awkwardly short. I know I'm not gonna wear it if I leave it like this, but I like don't have the emotional energy to fix it right now. But yeah, the fit's great. It fits me fantastic. I know I'm gonna wear it. It's just been so hard for me to get this guy done. So there's a couple of mods to this. I did for these like second and third mohair sections, I held my mohair double so that way it was less see-through. So that way I didn't have to wear a tank top under it. So those sections are more opaque. So I can like actually wear a bra with this and it doesn't look silly. So that's nice. It worked out really, really well when I tried it on. It looked really, really good. Definitely wearable for me. And I think that's the only mod I made. This is the size extra small. My gauge is a little bit big. And yeah, hopefully I'll have the sleeves done at some point. Right now it's just gonna sit in my sad timeout pile. So it's kind of a downer to start with, but that's okay. She will be done. I'm counting it in this because I cast it off and thought it was done. And technically it could be, but I'm still gonna go back and change it just a little bit. So, but yeah, finished-ish. Okay, so the next thing that I finished is this really, really pretty, mostly free-handed shawl. I started off wanting to knit the Jane Eyre shawl. I don't remember the designer's name. I'll put it on the screen. I wanted to knit the Jane Eyre shawl, which has this like beautiful scalloped edging, and I just really like the look of it. And so I cast it on and I fully intended to make it that, and then I got bored. So we put in these lacy stripe things. I just did it based on vibes, went as I wanted to. Continue doing the center increases, the edge increases, and then worked a little bit more garter, and then when I got bored of the garter, worked another another row of the lace, and then finished it and didn't do the scalloped edging at all. And I think this is gorgeous. I really like it. I'm glad that I made it. At the time, this is much more like a make project than a wear project. Like, this is much more of a process knit for me. I really loved making this. And this was recycled alpaca that I bought. I think I got this off of Facebook Marketplace or something. I bought this secondhand. Maybe it was Reddit. I bought it secondhand somewhere. And used that combined with one strand of Knit Picks Aloft mohair for the blue, and then the white is Juniper Moon Merino, held with one strand of Aloft mohair in the same blue color. But yeah, it's really gorgeous. It looks beautiful hanging up. I honestly haven't worn it as much as I thought I would. I think it's a little bit too small, so it can't quite wrap around the way that I want it to, and I'm not really a shawl person, I've learned. This is the first one I ever made. So yeah, it just didn't quite hit for me. It looks really pretty on. I'll do a little wrap. You can see that, like, it just doesn't quite, like, sit, you know, and I can tuck the ends under, but it'll come undone. I don't know. Something about it doesn't quite work. And I don't know if it's just that it's a shawl or if it's this particular one. But I like to hang it up on my wall and just look at it. And that works quite well for me. Maybe someday it'll be a gift. Maybe someday I'll fall back in love with it. I don't know. I wore it a lot when I first cast it off. I just haven't really picked it back up. So yeah, I don't really know why. I think it's beautiful. I really love it. I thought about coming out with a pattern for this, but it's just so simple that I don't think I need to. Like, it's a very basic triangular shawl increase pattern, and then, you know, very simple little eyelet stripe thing. Whole thing's in garter, and then the eyelets are in stockinette, and then back to garter, and then the eyelets are in stockinette. So, but yeah, I think it's so pretty. I think it turned out so pretty. I'm glad that I made it. It was like, I made this in like February. And it was just, like, so comforting because I was so cold all the time, and I could just, like, it was like a little blanket while I was making it. So, yeah, so there's that. The color on this is just so pretty. My lighting was really good when I first started filming, and the sun has kind of gone behind the clouds, so I hope it's still bright enough for you to see. But it's just a really, really squishy, nice fabric. It's scratchier than I wanted it to be. Which I think is why it hasn't gotten as much wear. It's not great for right next to my neck, but it's just really, really pretty. So yeah, I really enjoyed making it. It's really pretty. That's honestly all I have to say about it because I just don't wear it that much. It's just really pretty. I like looking at it. I'm happy I made it. But yeah, so there's that guy. And then the next thing, I also finished these this week. I finished these. I'm filming on January 2nd. I finished these literally, well, I mean, I technically finished them yesterday on the 1st because that's when I wove in the ends, but I'm counting them as done on New Year's Eve. So these are, oh, and look, I didn't weave in the ends on this one. I only got to the other one. So I'll have to flip this guy. These are my Ovis socks. This is a pattern by the Petite Knitter. And it's these little colorwork socks with these little sheep on them. I think these are so freaking cute. So it's top down, afterthought heel, wedge toe. Pretty simple construction. Afterthought heels are not my favorite, but for colorwork like this, I think they make sense. It's a really simple pattern, and it's so addictive. Like, I knit the first one really, really quickly, and I just timed it wrong. I made these in like March. I knit first one pretty quickly, but by the time I was done, it was getting to be spring, and I just wasn't really feeling wool socks because these aren't superwash. They're non-superwash Highland wool. Because I just wanted a really, really warm pair of socks. So I just wasn't really feeling it, and then I started the other one. I think I cast it on at the beginning of December, and I think I knit the ribbing in like a week, and was going pretty slow, and then I picked it back up on like the 14th because I was like, oh, I want to be done with everything. And I knit it in like a week. I finished it so fast. The color work is just so easy to memorize, and it's so nice to look at, and it's very satisfying to do because like you're always trying to finish like the next repeat, or at least I was. But yeah, so pretty simple construction, nice little afterthought heel. These haven't gotten to be worn yet, so I'm very excited for that. It's gonna be really cold this next week, so these were well timed. But yeah, so they're done. They're gorgeous. I love them. And yeah, these are the Ovis socks. Oh, I forgot to say what they are knitted in. So these are Cloudborn Highland wool for the like beige and the brown, and then the white is just like leftover drops fable. Yeah, just like scrap yarn that I had. And I didn't end up using very much yarn for these. Like, I think I could make another pair with what I had. So yeah, if you're looking to get rid of scraps, this is a great one. Yeah, they're super cute. I want to make another pair and do the mismatch like they are on Ravelry. But yeah, they're adorable. I love them. I'm so excited to wear them. I'm so happy that they're done. The little shape give me life. And then I have one mod to this guy. I have a really tight ribbing on this. So I'm typically like a 58-inch sock girly, or a 58-stitch sock girly. And these didn't have that option. They had 56 or they had 64. And I was like, well, it's color work and it's non-superwash, so it's not gonna like stretch as much when I block it. And I really don't want it to be too tight, so I went 64 for the color work. Just because these are going to be cozier socks anyway. They're not really going to be like work socks. And I'd rather them be a little bit loose than too tight and not be able to get them on. But I didn't want them to slouch down, so I did the ribbing in 56 stitches. Knit the ribbing there, and then just did 8 increases around, every however many. I think I did every 6 stitches an increase, and brought it up to 64, and then did the color work like that. So both of them are like that, narrower ribbing, longer color, or wider color work, I guess. But yeah, I'm super happy with how they turned out. And then this is my Building Blocks cardigan. The pattern is by Amy Sure Makes, and I love this sweater. I have worn this both less than I thought I would and more than I thought I would, and I'll explain that later. So I cast this on in March, I think, beginning of March if I remember right. And I just loved working on this. It was so much fun to make. It's knit in Nuiden. The white is Snow and the pink is Vanessa. I have so much more Vanessa left. Like, I could make a whole nother sweater, I think, of the 300 grams that I have. And I probably will. I'm thinking of making a cardigan, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, I started this in March, and I finished it relatively quickly, but again, I kind of, our spring came early this year in Colorado, and when I finished it, I think it was mid-April, and my original plan was to wear this over dresses when it was still too cold to do that, and it was already hitting the 70s, so there was no chance I was wearing a non-superwash, super warm wool sweater in the 70s. And this sweater is warm, like it's almost too warm. I don't get to wear it as much as I want to because I feel like it's so like springy, and it's also really good for fall. Like, it's a good fall sweater, but it's just so warm that I overheat. So that's unfortunate. I talked about this earlier. I did make one mistake when I made this. So for the armholes, I ended up slipping every stitch at the end of every row, and that made my armholes not very stretchy. And I have gained some weight this year, and I've gained, really what I've gained is mass on my arms. I like working out a lot. I wouldn't classify myself as like a bodybuilder or a power lifter or anything. I just like lifting in general. And I've gained like muscle mass on my shoulders and on my arms this last year. So they fit me a little bit tight. It fits me a little bit tight on the sleeve where it hits, because it hits me like right at the peak of my bicep, and it's a little tight, which isn't my favorite, but that's a me problem, not a pattern problem. And then I opted to do the high-low hem, which is my favorite part of this sweater. I love this hem. I need to knit more things with high-low hems. Like, this is so pretty. And it just sits so well. Like, it hangs off of my back really nicely, and it does this little, the way that the short rows, like, worked out for me, the way they fit me, is that the front of my sweater is higher than the end of my sweater, of course, because I did the high-low hem. But it also has this really pretty, like, I don't know how to describe it, like a curved hem at the bottom. Like, it kind of hangs up and then down, and then you have the hem in the back. And it's just so flattering. Like, it looks really good. I wish I had knit this a tiny bit longer. It is just, like, literally this much too short. But I still wear it quite a bit in the winter. It's become much more of a winter sweater than a spring sweater. And in the winter, I don't veer towards these colors quite as much, but that's okay. But yeah, I've really, really enjoyed this. It's a really well-written pattern. I want to make another one of these someday. Next time I need like a basic sweater. It's such a good basic sweater pattern, and there's so many options. And there's this option to add a little pocket that I still might do to this guy, because little pockets are so freaking cute. Like, look at that pattern if you haven't seen it before. But yeah, so it fits me so well. The neckline, I tend to have a problem with necklines being too wide. I have broad shoulders, and like things that will hit out here make me look like, I don't know, it's not the effect I'm going for. And this neckline just fits me really nicely. It's good and tight, but it's not like on my neck. And yeah, this is surprisingly not scratchy, given, you know, the materials. It probably needs to be washed again pretty soon. But yeah, I really like this sweater. The fabric is really, really pretty. Like, when the sun hits this, it basically glows. It's gorgeous. But yeah, so there is the building blocks sweater. The next thing I'm going to talk about is this magically chunky hat. This is the Lady of Alderon hat. This is designed by one of my friends on Instagram. Her name's Inna. What is her designer name? I'll pop that on the screen. Her name's Inna. She's delightful, and this was a test knit for her pattern. I think this hat is delightful. It's like a jumbo weight hat, so I held together 3 strands of Patton's wool for the cream. This was just like scrap that I had lying around, and it ended up being perfect. I had like 3 ends of a skein, and 2 of them were cream and 1 of them was white, and it just made a really pretty fabric. And then this brown is, I don't remember. I knit this a long time ago. I don't remember what it is. It's one of the Joann's. Oh, it's K+C. It's K+C something. Maybe Nordic? I'll look it up. I'll put it on. It'll be right on the screen. And yeah, so you work this really cool, like, faux cable over it. It fits me so well. Like, it's such a cute little hat. You know, it just goes with everything. I highly recommend the pattern. I highly recommend the designer, and it's great. And yeah, I've gotten a lot of use out of this. It's a very good, like, it's a very cold day out, and my hair looks terrible hat. But yeah, so there's that guy. No mods on this. It was a test knit. Not really very many notes about it either. It worked up so fast, as you would expect. But yeah, this pretty hat. Nice to wear. And then I have my cherry pie socks. So this is a pattern that I released in May, I think. And they are like one of my favorite things I've ever made, honestly. I wear these socks so often. So it's this like pie crust texture on the sock itself. So you work Latavian braids and then twisted stitches to make this like grid pattern. And then you have a little cherry on the heel, and my cherries have felted a little bit. So they're a little bit worse for wear, my cherries are, because these have gotten so much use over the last year. I need to remake them. Because just the red kind of stained a little bit as I wore them, and as I washed them, and as I wore them, and as I washed them. But these have gotten so much use. They're such good little socks. The length is basically perfect for me. So they're a top down. I think bottom up socks are dumb. I don't like them. They're top down. And then it's just like a ribbing for like half an inch, and then you go into the pattern, and then you do the color work heel. And the heel is a heel flap and gusset, so you work the color work on the heel flap, and then you work the gusset as you normally would. And then it's just a pretty simple wedge toe, and the pattern continues on the toe. My pet peeve is textured socks that don't have textured toes. So I wanted it to go all the way up to the end. So you basically end with a Latavian braid right before your Kitchener. So that way it's just a nice little continuous pattern. And these are knit in Woolbury Fiber Co. I think this is Woolbury Fiber Co. Sugar Cookie, but I'm gonna check my sources on that. But yeah, it was a Christmas sock set released last year. I got it in person at the Woolbury Market, and I don't know, these are just so fun to make. I wear them so much. They need to be washed again because these are like my most worn socks this year easily, and I'm proud of the pattern. If you want to look at it, it will be linked down below. I worked quite hard on it. It was my first like test knitted pattern, and I really enjoyed making them. I wanna make more colorwork sock patterns because they're my favorite thing to make. So hopefully we'll get around to doing more of that this year. But yeah, so socks, delightful, 10 out of 10, very good socks. And then my next thing on the list is what I'm wearing. So this is my finished Dunes cardigan. It is so cute. Like, I am in love with this cardigan. So this is a pattern by Kadri. I knit it in Knit Picks, Wool of the Andes. I love this color. I started this forever ago. I started this in April, I think, and I didn't finish it until December. I feel like I finished everything as soon as my semester ended. Like, I just went on a rampage and finished everything. I have worn this so much. I think this is my favorite thing I made this year. I've worn this so much since it got off, and I know that might be kind of skewed because I just finished it and I'm still like in like the honeymoon phase, so we'll see if that stands. But it's just this really, really nice cardigan. It's very cropped. I have it ending like right at my natural waist. I mostly made it to wear over dresses, cardigans with skirts, that kind of thing. Okay, it has these really cute knitted buttons. And like, I am just in love with them. I love bees. Bees are my favorite. I'm working on bee socks right now. As you can tell, my whole background is bees. I don't know. I think it's just so cute. And the fit is so good. There we go. The fit is so good. It has just enough ease that it drapes well on my body, but it doesn't feel like I'm being swallowed by it. My balloon cardigan I love, but is just like really, really big and cozy and oversized, and it just didn't have that like more refined effect and that I was kind of going for with this one. I really wanted this to be like something I can wear to church, something that I can wear to a nice dinner, like a date night kind of sweater, and it is that. It just looks so good, and the lace is so pretty. Here, I'll try to show you on the sleeves here. It's easier to see on the body, but the lace work is just really, really nice. It was such a fun pattern to work. It was really easy to memorize, and once I kind of got into it, it really just kind of flowed off the needles. The shaping is delightful. I ended up modifying where the buttonholes are, because I only wanted 3, and the original pattern is 4, because the original pattern, the body is a lot longer. So I modified where the buttonholes were. I basically just went off of vibes, My neckline is also smaller than the recommended neckline. Like, I picked up less stitches than recommended. Partly because it's shorter than it was going to be. And partly because I just wanted, I wanted it I didn't want to add too much fabric to the front. So I wanted to keep it pretty tight and, like, pull in everything, I guess, if that makes sense. So I think I picked up, like, 128 stitches, and it wanted me to pick up something like 160. I don't remember. I knit the extra small in this guy. My gauge is a little bit big, as it is with everything, because I am the world's loosest knitter. I even went down 2 needle sizes for this, and here we are. But yeah, it's just so nice, and I really like the way that it turned out. Okay, so we are now officially on to the summer section of the year. My favorite thing to make during the summer is socks. So that's what I'm going to start with. So the first socks that I made this summer are my Ladybug spring socks. I'm going to put a photo of them up on the screen because I don't have them with me right now. They're actually getting washed. They're in my in my little, like, sink with the water in it. I didn't plan very well today, but yeah, so those guys are, honestly, I said that the cherry pie socks are my most worn, and I think that's true, but I think my Ladybug spring socks are my favorite. And I want to make a pattern for them. I just haven't yet. I need to remake them and write down what I did because I kind of just freehanded them. But I think they're just so cute. Like, they're adorable, and the tweed just, like, tickles a section of my brain. I just love those socks, and the length is really nice because they're not so long that they're, like, uncomfortable to wear, because I love wearing them in the spring and I love wearing them in the summer. They're not long enough that they're hot or they look weird with shorts, but they're long enough that you can see the ladybugs above your socks. So, I don't know, I just really, really love those socks. Like, I just wear them so much. So they're top down, heel flap and gusset, wedge toe, my very favorite blueprint. I knit them in, I don't remember what the tweed was. It's a hand-dyed tweed. I will just put it on the screen somewhere. I know I have everything written down in my Notion downstairs in my desktop, but I don't have it open right here because the computer light makes my face look weird. So I'll have it written on the screen. And then the red is Leftover Woolberry Fiber Co. Minis. And the black is just scrap black yarn. But yeah, I want to, I have this idea for, like, a set of 3 patterns in one, and I want to do, like, a set of 3 insect patterns. I want to do bees and ladybugs, and then I haven't settled on the third one yet. I was thinking about doing butterflies, but I feel like butterflies are basic, so I kind of want to see if I can figure out how to do, like, spiders or grasshoppers. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that even happens. I feel like I throw designing ideas around so often on this channel, and then I don't ever do any of them, so sorry to disappoint you if that's true. And then I did a couple of, like, pretty vanilla socks. So I did this pair. This is a pair of socks that I made with 3 different skeins. These were Scrappy Socks. So this is alternating It's Raining Men by Tippy Tree Fibers and Drops Fable in just a white. So I did that for, like, the blue section of the sock. And then this orange is Craft Outside the Box Pumpkin, which I seem to never run out of. I have that yarn as, like, heels and toes on so many socks, and I still have some. I still have, like, 30 grams of it. It just never goes away. But yeah, so I made these guys. They fit really well, 10 out of 10. There's just a 58-inch top down. Oh, this is 2x2 rib. This one's a little bit spicy, okay? This one's 2x2 rib instead of 1x1. Heel flap and gusset, wedge toe. Well, like, once you find the socks that work, I don't know. I don't really have any interest in doing new sock constructions because these just fit me really, really well. I have no complaints about them, so I don't want to change them. But yeah, so there's that. I don't have the other one. I couldn't find the other one before this video. It's around. I promise I did both. But yeah, so there's that. And then I also made, let me see if I can find them. I gotta reach. Okay, here's one. Where's the other one? Here we go. wasn't a process at all. And then these are a pair of Broncos socks. So I made my fiance these Broncos socks last year, and these are my matching pair. His are long, and they say Broncos on them, and they're orange with blue heels and toes, and then mine are blue with orange heels and toes, because I thought that would be cute. The Denver Broncos are my favorite sports team. I am a diehard football fan. So these are my, like, representation socks. So this is the same craft outside the box orange. You can see that it's faded a lot on this pair. I've worn this pair a lot more than I've worn the other pair, and this yarn doesn't it hasn't been very dye fast, honestly. Like my fiance's socks, they honestly look kind of rough. I need to make him another pair. But yeah, so this one is 2x2 rib. Yeah, 2x2 rib, top down, heel flap and gusset, wedge toe. I think these ones are actually 60 stitch instead of 58 stitch, if I remember right. But yeah, I mean, pretty easy, pretty basic. They fit well. I wear them to all my Broncos games. They're the right length that I can wear. I have high top Vans that are Broncos colors, and I wear those to, you know, whatever games I go to or on game days. And they're I made them just long enough that they don't rub, but you also can't see them. So you like just see the orange peeking out of the top of my Vans, which just looks good. So yeah, they've gotten a lot of wear. I still like them. I probably need to make another pair soon-ish. But yeah, I'm just surprised with how much the orange has faded, because I've only hand washed these and they still, like, the orange just hasn't been very vibrant. It hasn't held up very long. So I'm making him new socks next year. I'm going to try out Drops Fable for that instead, because that white yarn has done so well for me. See if that's a little bit more color fast. We'll see. Orange is hard, so I'm not upset about it. I just wish that it had worked better the first time. And then the blue is just a girl and her dog yarns in, I think, the colorway Paris. I think it is Paris. The colorway Paris. So I love this yarn. Robin is one of my favorite yarn dyers ever. I think her yarns are gorgeous. Yeah, so there's those guys. And then I made this really, really cute crop tank top. So this is self-drafted. I was going to try to come up with a pattern, and grading this tank top has been so difficult for no reason. So maybe not. I don't know. I've given up on promising people patterns. So I made this in Lion brand Pima cotton, which is my favorite cotton yarn. I will sing its praises forever. And it's just this really easy stockinette tank top, and then I slipped stitches every so often, so it has like this interesting like line detail. The fabric has held up pretty well, not quite as well as I wanted. It has gone through the washer a few times, and this yarn doesn't do great in the washer. So, you know, it's a little bit fuzzy. I probably need to depill it, but it works really well. It's just a really easy crop tank top. It hits me right where my high-waisted shorts do. I really like wearing this with, like, I have this pair of green cargo pants. I really like this in the green cargo pants. It's very, like, hippie vibes. I don't know. It's gotten a lot of wear. I like it quite a bit. It fits me really well. Yeah, not really any notes on this guy. I really like the fit of it. I like the wear of it. I wish the yarn held up a little bit better on this one. For some reason, this one in particular pills more than my other ones do, but, you know, that's okay. We just depill it and move on. And honestly, this isn't bad. I've never depilled it, and I wore this all summer, and it's just like a little bit fuzzy on the edges, as you can probably see. It's not like unreasonably bad. But yeah, so there's bust shaping in this guy. It's quite flattering. I don't know, it's just cute. I like this. So there is that. The next thing I made was a little hair scarf. I'm going to pop a photo of it on here because I don't know where it's at the moment. I haven't worn this a ton. It was 95% just a project to get me back with my needles. This was like when I took my knitting break, so this project really helped me like get back into the groove of things. It's just a really cute little silk scarf made with a silk. It was a silk scrap yarn that I didn't have very much of. Super easy travel project, looked really cute. Really enjoyed doing the little eyelet pattern that I picked. I freehanded this, as I do most things, and it was just a nice little project. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so that kind of got me back into the rhythm of things, and I picked back up my mini mock neck tank. So I have wanted this tank top for years, and the pattern just didn't exist yet. I've had this skein of yarn for like 2.5 years, and I just never knew what to do with it. And I only had one, and it was too pretty to be socks. Like, it's all my favorite colors. And I had this Abercrombie & Finch high neck tank top that I loved. And this was basically my opportunity to make it, but better. So this is the mini mock neck tank by Jessie Maed, the queen of summer knits. And I made the extra small. And it fits me so well. I love this tank top. It got so much wear this summer. It got a lot of wear this fall. It works really well as like a layering piece with my jeans and like a cute jacket on top of it. I knit this long. I knit this longer than the pattern recommended. I wanted to be able to wear it specifically with, I have this pair of brown low-waisted jeans that I love. And I wanted to be able to wear this with those jeans. Like, I knew that was going to be an outfit that I would go to over and over and over again. I love green and brown. So I needed it to be long enough that it wasn't going to be cropped with those. So it's long enough that it's not cropped with those. It hits me basically right at the waistband of those low-waisted jeans. So with like high-waisted stuff, I do tuck it in most of the time. But yeah, this is just such a nice pattern, and the shaping is so well done. I'm going to make another one of these for sure. This summer my focus is like not tank tops as much as t-shirts, because I have a lot of tank tops and I don't have very many t-shirts. I actually don't have any t-shirts, but I want to make another one of these this summer. It was just a nice knit, and I really enjoyed working on it, and the yarn is gorgeous. This is unlabeled yarn that I got off of somebody's D-stash. They don't know who dyed it. I've been obsessed with it for so long, and I'm so glad that I got to put it into such like a beautiful piece that I wear all the time. The neckline is amazing. I didn't do the mock neck. I just did a little bit of ribbing because my Abercrombie & Finch tank top that I was basing this off of didn't have a mock neck. It was like a narrower neck, so I did that. The back does curl just a little bit. I wish I had done one more row. But once it's on, it kind of stretches out to where you can't really tell. But yeah, I would like to make another version that does actually have the mock neck. And other than that, I knit this completely to pattern. I didn't twist the ribbing because twisted ribbing sucks and I hate it. But everything else is completely to pattern. It fits me amazing. It's negative ease. It just looks really, really good. I've worn it so much. Yeah, I really love this. I'm really excited that I get to make more. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is slightly out of order, but it's okay. I'm just going with it. So this is the Easy Beanie by Brandy Cheyenne Harper. I knit this for my little sister this is knitted in Farmer's Daughter Fibers. Oh my gosh, it starts with a P. Oh, how am I forgetting every single yarn I've ever used today? Pishkin. This is in Farmer's Daughter Fibers Pishkin. She picked out the color, she bought the yarn, I made the hat. That was our deal. That's typically my deal when people close to me ask for things. Like, I'm happy to gift knit, but yarn's expensive, and if you want, you know, a $65 cardigan, I need you to pay for that, and I will put in the hours to make it. So I made this for her, standard length. I hacked the pattern a bit, so this is a DK weight yarn technically, but I think it's a worsted. It works up like a worsted. It makes a good thick squishy fabric, and in order to make it work with this pattern, with the gauge that I got, I knit the size 3, which is actually toddler. I knit the size 3 in that yarn, worked with the gauge, And yeah, she loves this. She wears it all the time. It's been super useful for her. I'm very glad. I love that pattern. I talk about that pattern all the time. And if you're looking for a good basic beanie, I think the Easy Beanie is the best because I love this decrease. I love the way that this decrease looks. I think it's so clean. I think it's so interesting. Like, it's not a basic, you know, 4 stripe decrease like you would see on every other hat. It like stands out, it pops. And it gives you this really cute little like stand-up effect on the top. I don't know. It just is cute. It fits great. That pattern is endlessly customizable. Yeah. So there is that guy. And then the next thing I made was also a gift knit. It was a hat for my dad. I don't have it because it's with my dad. And it was made in hand spun yarn that I got as a gift from another friend on Instagram. And I made it for, he had a trip to Bandon Dunes, so I made him a hat for Bandon Dunes. It's a very basic, it's basically an Easy Beanie, but bigger and longer. So, and with ribbing, because he doesn't like fold up brims. So I made that for him. I'll put a photo in here somewhere. It turned out really nice. I whipped it up really quick. Kind of just an easy, nice thing to do for somebody who lost his hat and needed another one. Worked out great. Alright, and the next thing that I finished was a big one, literally. This is my gorgeous this is my gorgeous everyday Henley. She is still lacking buttons. They actually just came in today, so I'll be putting those on today. But this is a pattern by Knits by Autumn on Instagram. It's a Henley neck sweater. It's massive. It's cozy. I did this as a test knit for her. It has twisted rib detailing. It has this beautiful Henley neck that will button closed like this. I knit the size small, which is a size up than what I would normally knit. So it has a lot of positive ease on me. It actually has a little bit more ease than I think I would want. I should have knit this in the size that I was supposed to knit it in. But that's okay. So I knit this all in the Craft Shetland DK. Or the Craft Shetland worsted, sorry. All different colors of it. It's a very fall-y sweater. I got a lot of wear out of it for like the holidays. Yeah, I just really enjoyed working on this. I had so much fun making it. It's gotten a good amount of wear. I've worn it a couple of times without the buttons. So once I get the buttons on it, I think I'll get a better idea of how often it'll get used. But yeah, so no mods to this because it was a test knit. I did do some waist decreases on this that I think I might actually rip back and take out. It was just looking really big and I was worried that it was going to fit me oddly, so I took it in a little bit at the waist and it actually makes it like bubble weird. So I'm gonna probably rip that back and take that out. But yeah, it's just a really nice little sweater and I've worn it a lot. I chose to do all of the ribbing in this green edging or in green. And I might actually take one stripe out of this. It's just a little bit long. The length is a little bit awkward. I want it to be big and cozy, but it's a little bit too big and cozy, if you know what I mean, because the ribbing kind of cinches in and it hits me like right on my hips. So it does that like weird sweatshirt thing where it just makes me look super boxy. So I think I just need to go up a needle size for the ribbing. I did twisted ribbing and I went down a needle size as suggested in the pattern because I was test knitting. And my gauge just ended up being weird and, you know, it went in a lot more than I thought it would. So I'm probably gonna rip that back and change it a little bit, which won't be very difficult, like, you know, it's just ribbing. But yeah, so this turned out so pretty. I love this. The pattern is great. Autumn is great. Working with her was so nice. She was just so understanding. Of everybody in the group, and the group chat was really, really fun. So yeah, go check out that pattern, go check out her if you haven't seen her already. I love the way that this turned out. I really, really do. My one regret is that so in my head, I wanted the trim to be white. And so I was like, okay, so I'll start with white. And I didn't like pick up the fact that I was going to be picking up a neckline. Like, I didn't think about that. So I just started with white, and then of course I have to pick up a neckline, so it doesn't work. So I didn't get to do white, which is fine. I did the green, and I like the green quite a bit. But yeah, just like a very funny brain fart thing. But yeah, this turned out so nice. I love the way this looks. I just ended up doing, I think it was 14 rows of every color, and I would switch every 14 rows. Yeah, it's just so pretty. I love this sweater. It's very cozy. It's not as scratchy as I thought it was going to be, but it is a little bit, not quite next to skin soft. So I've worn it with, you know, a t-shirt underneath of it, just to make it easier. It's a warm sweater, so if I'm wearing it, I'm probably outside already, so layers is not a bad thing there. But yeah, beautiful. 10 out of 10. And then my very last finished item is my Christmas socks. So every year I try to knit myself a pair of Christmas socks. It didn't happen last year, but it did happen this year. So these are free-handed. I made up the pattern. I made up the chart. It's a little snow scene with these little trees. I think these are so cute. And then this, like, every other Fair Isle heel flap. I love the way these turned out. This is Drops Fable. Shocker! This is Drops Fable and that same yarn that I used for the Broncos Socks. This is the Just a Girl and Her Dog yarns in Paris. I think it's amazing. So Paris is a 90% superwash and a 10% nylon. And I really, really like it more than I like 75-25 blends. Like, it's held up so well for me. I don't even notice the difference in wear. And I feel like the color pickup is so much better. I don't know if it's a dyeing technique or what, but all of my 90-10 super washes are always way more vibrant. I don't know if that's just placebo or what. But yeah, I love these. I wore them on Christmas Day. They're just really cute. They work well in boots. Yeah, I'm really proud of them. I think they're gorgeous. I had a really good time making them. They got done really, really fast. So yeah, 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed knitting this year. I had such a good time, and I really love most of the things I made. Like, even the stuff that didn't get a lot of wear, I loved making. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so happy with all the things that I made. I'm so excited to see what I'm going to make next year. I'm so happy that I'm, like, back into it again, because it felt like I was away from it for so long in the summer. It's like the longest break I've ever taken. It was like 2 months, and it was like life-changing for me. But yeah, so I so enjoyed making everything this year. I've come so far as far as techniques and comfortability goes this year. I've made more fingering weight things this year than ever before. I used to be really impatient and really struggle to get through fingering weight garments and knit things long enough. And now, like, I'm knitting things too long. So, I don't know. It was a really fun year, and I'm really excited to see what next year brings. I'm excited to see what next year brings to this channel. Yeah. If you've watched this far, please go in and subscribe and do the thing. I don't post on a schedule. I just kind of go based on when I want to. This is like strictly a hobby for me. I will forever scream about monetizing your hobby. This is very much something that I do for fun because I want to. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Feel free to check me out at Instagram. I'm super active there. That's like the thing that I post on the most. So if you want to see more stuff, go there. Yeah, this video took a lot of time to make. Like, I already know this is gonna take forever. I've spent like 2 hours filming, and I know this is gonna be like a 4-hour edit, which is fine. I like editing. I enjoy filming. But yeah, so giving me a like and interacting with the channel would be a nice payoff for that. If you have questions about anything, feel free to pop them in the comments. I'm not a very big channel, so I reply to everybody. And if you want to know more details about everything, again, feel free to go back into my other videos, and like, since I did this time-wise, you should be able to find like the video that I would have been talking about the thing in. So yeah, feel free to check it out there, and thank you for hanging out with me for this long. I know this was probably a lot of your time. These are my favorite videos to watch, so I figured it would be fun to make. This is my first video ever on my channel last year, was everything I did in 2022, so it's just a nice like little full circle moment. So yeah, if you have questions, pop them down, feel free to check me out, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for hanging out with me.